What's up, guys? It's Brian Alsruhe with NeverState.com, and welcome to the exciting part 2 of the bench press series. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to get it out to you. It has actually been so long that even I forgot what was in the video. I had to go back and watch it, and I would encourage you to do the same because these two videos are going to build on each other. The very first one was all about your setup. This one is going to just continue on from there, but if your setup is not squared away, none of this is going to matter. Make sure you click the link above, watch the old video, get all of those cues and tips down pat, and then move on to this one. Your bench press is going to go up. I guarantee it. I don't really guarantee it. Let's get after it. All right, so the very last point that we hit on the previous video was about rowing the bar down to your body and making that an active motion. You are in control of the bar is not in control of you. In order to show you an example of how this is, these are Elite FTS blast straps. These are typically used as a replacement for gymnastics rings, but what we're using them for in this example is showing how you wind up your body. This exact same thing on the bench press. When you're super tight and you're actively rowing that bar to your body while you're trying to bend it like a horseshoe, you're squeezing your hands hard as possible, you're engaging your legs for your leg drive, is just like winding these blast straps up tighter and tighter and tighter. You're building up a bunch of kinetic energy. So at the second that it touches your chest, you release all of that kinetic energy that you've built up and the bar explodes off your chest. If you're loose or you did not do your setup correctly or you're not using your lats in the bench press, you're gonna be weak off the chest. The bar is gonna go maybe an inch off your chest and then it's gonna stop. While you're actively rowing the bar to your chest, I want you to think about wedging yourself between the bench and the barbell, almost like you had a spring and you were compressing it. That's what the bar is doing, it's compressing. As soon as you reverse that motion and that bar starts to go upward, I want you to think about pushing your back into the bench. Do not push the barbell away from you. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it absolutely is. It's just like pushing the floor away on a deadlift as opposed to picking the bar up. The way you structure things in your mind and the cues that you tell yourself can biomechanically change the way that your body reacts. Always think about pushing your back into the bench. Do not think about pushing the barbell up. It matters. On any major strength movement, you're always gonna have better luck if you move your body around the barbell as opposed to the barbell around your body so that bar path can stay as efficient as possible and as strong as possible. Write that down. The next topic we're gonna cover is leg drive. Oh, leg drive. Every single person who's ever struggled under a heavy weight on the bench press has used leg drive, just incorrectly. I have personally been there more times than I'd like to admit. You bring the bar down, it's a little too heavy for you, you start to press back up, your body says, absolutely not, we need more muscles for this. You start pushing with your legs, you shoot your butt up, you try to turn into a decline bench press, it doesn't go well, it's ugly, you end up twisting around, look like a fool, and it typically doesn't end well. When we're talking about leg drive, I want you to think of a fighter throwing a punch. Now you can throw a punch with just your arm, just like you can bench press with just your arms, but that typically doesn't get you the results that you want. A strong punch starts from the floor just like a strong bench press starts from the floor. The only thing that you need down is the timing. So when throwing an effective punch, you need to use your entire body. You need to use your hips. Your foot needs to be twisting on the ground like you're squishing a bug. All that energy leaves from the floor, shoots up your leg, through your hip, up your torso, out your arm, and it all goes to one condensed point at the end of your fist. Do the same thing on the bench. If you're not using leg drive on the bench, you're leaving a ton of pounds out there somewhere. So when you initiate that leg drive, instead of trying to drive your butt upward like it's trying to go straight to the ceiling, I want you to try to push towards your head. If your setup wasn't good and the weight wasn't pinning you to the bench, you would literally slide backwards towards the uprights. You can see here as I lower the bar, I'm starting to load my legs. As soon as the bar touches my chest, I'm literally trying to drive myself up the bench. And like I said, if I wasn't pinned there by the weight and my setup, I would slide right to the top. This is why the first video was important. In that previous video, I talked about pushing your knees out to engage your glutes. If you have a good arch and your glutes are engaged, it's gonna be much harder for your butt to leave that bench. I am not saying that it won't happen. Believe me, I have done thousands of bench presses, and even when my arch was as perfect as my terrible arch gets, my butt sometimes still leaves the bench. I need to actively be thinking about pushing my body north, like towards the uprights, not upwards towards the ceiling. I guess that could be north too. That's confusing. But also, while you're pushing your knees out, you want to be engaging your quads. As soon as I unrack the bar, I'm probably at about 20 to 30% legs engaged. As I lower the bar, I go to 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, all the way up. As soon as the bar touches my chest and I reverse it, my legs are 100% engaged. Trying to slide me backwards on the bench, but since my traps are set and I'm pinned, my arch is going to hold and all that kinetic energy is going to go from my feet, through my legs, into my torso, up my arms, and out the middle of my hand, just like it did on the punch. But again, it's your setup that makes all this possible. That is what anchors you to the bench. If you do not have a good setup, this is not gonna work for you. I'm gonna look like an idiot. You're gonna leave comments saying that this doesn't work, but it does work. Don't make me look stupid. Moving on. The next thing we're gonna talk about is your bar path. Now on the deadlift, and even to the squat to a certain extent, you want that bar path to be as straight as possible. You still want your bar path on your bench press to be straight. It's just gonna be at an angle. Angle, bar press, path. What that means is that you're not gonna be pushing the bar straight up from the point that you touched on your chest. You're gonna be pushing back more towards your face. That is why it is super important to roll that bar out to the front of the J-cups before you unrack it. Otherwise, you're gonna run into them like you often see me do in videos, and that doesn't go well for anybody. So if you take a video of yourself on the bench press from the side, you will notice that as you unrack the bar and you are getting it set, you're kind of over your mouth, kind of chin area. Then as you tuck your elbows, because you should be bending the bar like a horseshoe and squeezing it as hard as possible, as you tuck your elbows and you start rowing that bar towards your chest, the bar path is going to change. It doesn't come down on a straight line towards right below your nipple line where you're gonna touch the bar. However, your body is not gonna hold the barbell in an inefficient place. So where you unwrapped it from, that is going to be your finishing position. So some people like to look up at a point through the barbell, like if you have a light on the ceiling or a line from a drop ceiling, cover it with the bar. That's where you're pushing back up to. Me personally, I'm just aiming to get the bar back over top of my face. So I row the bar down under control. It is an active motion, never forget that. Once I touch my chest, I'm pushing it back up towards my face. I'm trying to think about getting the bar over my mouth to my chin kind of area. Now, if you do this too early, you're gonna lose all your structural integrity. You guys remember in the last video, we talked about pillars on a building and how your arms need to stay relatively like that because pillars support weight. If you start pushing this bar towards your face too early, you're going to lose that structural integrity and you're gonna end up with a bar on your neck. I hope you have a strong spotter. And conversely, if you start pushing the bar towards your face too late, you're gonna run out of horsepower. The bar is gonna kind of be out away from you like you see in this video here. That is not a structurally strong position. You need to get that bar back over top your shoulders, which is near your face. Get the bar near your face, man. So once you touch your chest, your first couple inches are gonna be relatively straight up, but then you need to start actively getting the bar back towards your face. This is gonna allow your elbows to flare a little bit more. It's gonna get horsepower back on the bar, and hopefully you're gonna finish that lift. And if you didn't, you can go ahead and blame me. It's okay, I'm not that worried about it, but I would recommend looking at the video and see what you did wrong. Or don't. All right, so now you should have a better idea of how to wind your body up to create some kinetic energy and then use more muscle groups in your leg drive to get more explosive power out of your press. And now you know where to press the bar. All right guys, so there is the bench press series part 2. In part 3, we'll be talking about identifying your weak points and what assistance exercises to use to fix them. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you found some of these tips helpful. If they were, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It does help grow the channel and I really do appreciate it. I will be back later in the week with another video, and thank you very much to all you who have purchased programs. I should have all of them done and out to you by the end of the week, hopefully. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Go out and do something amazing with your lives. Keep working hard, be nice to each other, people, and I will catch up with you later in the week.